Good morning. Mr. Shagley, you want to take a seat, please?
I was just spreading holiday cheer, Commissioner.
If everybody please could stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, as with every second Commissioners meeting of the month, we'll do our area plan meeting, rezoning approval immediately following this meeting. We'll just have to let Karen take a few minutes to adjust her stuff so she can take minutes. So, Mr. Bramble, minutes and claims, please.
We've got minutes for the November 15th regular meeting and the December 6th regular meeting for approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor by aye. Aye. Thank you,
Then
Jimmy.
Next, we've got the November 15th and December 6th area plan, Board of Zoning Appeals meetings.
Is that the LFM Quality
Let's
Laboratories
see, what is
minutes?
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
one of them, yeah, did one and then you tabled it until the next meeting. What else we got?
I'll make a motion to approve those as well if there's no questions.
A second.
All in favor by aye.
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 Then we have December 3rd through December 9th claims in the amount of $55,231,563.23. That's a whopper because we have the settlement in there.
Any questions about that big number? For Jimmy or Cheryl?
Jim, can you go by each one of those line by line for us?
What's that?
Yeah, that's good.
It's all settlement, property in, or tax money in, tax money out, so.
I'll make a motion to approve this historic amount of money, $55,231,563.23.
Claim docket, what we got in this one?
Did I do the wrong one?
No, that's right. You're good.
I will second that.
All in favor by aye. Aye.
And the next one is for December 10th through December 16th for $7,394,342.37. That one's big because it's got all the income tax distributions in it.
Any questions about that one?
I will make a motion to accept that.
Any questions, Brendan? I'll second. All in favor by aye.
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 Then next is the claim docket for November 15th through the 28th in the amount of $1,231,623.74.
Motion to approve.
All in favor by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Well, the boring part of the meeting's done. Just kidding. It's always a lot of fun. Those big numbers. Okay. Anything else, Jimmy, Cheryl, for the good of the cause? No? Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. All right, number 3 on the agenda, actually, is there, the next 3 things are with building maintenance. Tommy, you want to talk about a couple of these things? Adam Chemical, North Mechanical, and Gibson Services. And the copier.
All right, on the Adam Chemical thing, we just wanted to change from Chem Aqua to Adam Chemical.
Okay.
They're the ones that's currently taking care of the new jail now. They've been on there since the day of the startup of the new jail. So we'd like to have them.
Okay. Any questions about Adam Chemical, what they do? Anything like that?
No, I've asked to it before.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, by aye?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next one, Tommy. North Mechanical.
North Mechanical, they're a company we've had for the past, I think, 2 years now. We're just wanting the contract re-signed. I got some things I gotta have re-advised on the contract, I believe, through them. I've called them, and they're gonna take note of what they gotta change.
So you want to table that one after the revision, or?
That's fine. I'll
What do
get
you
it all
think, Terry?
changed, and we'll go from there.
We'll just move on from that one then. Okay.
We had some questions, yeah.
All right, Gibson Services.
Okay. These are the roof tops at Community Corrections. I'd like to change out 2 of them for preventive maintenance reasons. The unit's 23 years old. Heat exchangers in them last about 15 years. We've already changed 3 heat exchangers in them. We're just spending more money on them than what it's worth.
So there's 3 units total.
There's 3 units total, but I'd like to do 2 of them this year.
Okay. Do you have an estimated cost of that, Tommy?
$30,000 for one of them, about $60,000 for both of them.
Any questions?
No, it's a lot of money. We've gone over it 4 or 5 times, trying to figure out how to get it as reasonable as we can and reduce the maintenance cost. Mr. Watson stated that repair services were out there frequently as well, so I would make a motion to approve this.
Okay. Brendan, any questions? I'll second. All in favor, by
Aye.
aye? Aye. And the last one's just another copy of your maintenance agreement for Tommy in his office, so it's just basic stuff. So I'll make a motion to approve.
One second.
All in favor, by
Aye.
aye? All right, Tommy, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Then number 7 is building inspection. That's just working with Brent, who continues to do software upgrades. He just worked with Bruce Allen, the surveyor's office. He's going to continue those services in building inspection for 2023. We just need to sign this contract so he can encumber the funds to move forward with the software upgrade in 2023. So I'll make a motion to approve that as well.
Second.
All in favor, by
Aye.
Okay. And then in addition, here is certifications, annual certifications of elected officials to the Vigo County Board of Commissioners or compliance with Indiana Code 36-1-20.2. It's to certify Aaron Loudermilk, Travis Norris, R. Todd Thacker, S. Marie Belzil-Thies, David Thompson, Vicki Wager, and Brenda Wilson were elected members of the Vigo County Council of Vigo County, and they certify that they have not violated the provisions of Indiana Code 36-1-20.2 relating to the employment and supervision of relatives. We just need to acknowledge that. I don't think we need to take any official action, do we, Terry? All right, with that, we'll open it up for comments from the public, if there's any comments from the public. No comments from the public? Okay, comments from elected officials or department heads?
Last meeting of the year, Mr. President?
It is.
Okay.
Mr. Kearns, anything you'd like to say?
Sure. This is my last meeting of my term. It's kind of interesting. This morning when I got up, I did what we all do. We go on Facebook, right? But I went through a post that I made about this time 4 years ago. And I looked at goals that I set, and I realized how aggressive I was in my goals and what I was going to do. And Tammy reminded me recently about how aggressive I was and how I thought I was going to save the world and attend all these meetings, and I tried it. And I did it for about 3 years. And I realized that was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake for the job, it was a mistake for me personally. My focus was off. A lot of times we focus on the wrong things. and I did. But what I did realize, a lot of those goals that I had in motion, we hit. There are a few things that were pretty lofty goals that were somewhat unattainable, and I knew that going into it. And I hope that these guys can possibly get us to where we needed to be 4 years ago. But I made some quick notes here about just a few things. It has been a good run. I think we've had a lot of successes in the last 4 years. Where's Joey? Is Joey in here still?
I think he went back to his office.
He left. Joey made a huge difference. He made our website easier. That was a 2 to 3 year project. There's still room for improvements. We moved a lot of our departments online. Before, in order to do any business here, you had to come in the building and sit down and go through, one office to another. With Joey's leadership, the IT staff, and working with the elected officials, there's so many things now that we can do without coming in this building. And I think that's a great success. This is a live stream system now. That was a big push that we had, was to make all these meetings accessible to the public. They are, and they're also recorded. And the IT department has been very instrumental. Of course, Jeremy, who's no longer with us, was part of that too. Larry, you're here, right? Absolutely amazing guy. Larry was here right before I showed up in his position. And Larry's worked hard with Bobby James, the superintendent, and all the leadership in the highway department, the supervisors. We paved a record amount of roads in the last 4 years. A lot of it is because Larry worked hard to take advantage of the community crossing dollars, and he's maximized it every time. And we've seen some tremendous successes in the county with road improvements and with ditch improvements. So I appreciate everything that you've done and your staff. Tommy, I see Tommy. Ricky, you here too? You guys are unreal. I mean, especially now having to go down south and spend most of your time down in that jail, which is how far away, Chris? You timed it at one time.
2.1 miles, 4
There you
minutes.
go. Yeah, making multiple trips back and forth. So I hope you guys can figure out how to get full-time staff down there, because you're definitely going to need it. You and I, both of you guys, have worked with me on some unique projects. From pushing the logo, which I think is on your sweatshirts that you have, promoting that. You've got a good maintenance team, changing the clock light colors, cleaning up the bell area, focusing on the historical parts, helping out when somebody wants to spray foam for an adoption day. You guys have been great to work with. I feel like I'm at a funeral. Kara, you're back there, right? Kara and I have been friends for a long time. Kara's worked very hard to make sure that the employees have the best place to work. Her HR experience, her involvement with the local HR coalition has given her ideas to make Vigo County an employer of choice, where people would like to come to work. The commissioners have worked hard to keep out-of-pocket costs down for health care. We've pushed a good clinic. We've had some hard meetings about the clinic, and I think the clinic now is where it needs to be. And a lot of that care is because of your vision and help. So I appreciate everything you've done. Another friend, Adam, he's my guy that when I run out of gas on the Wabash River way down south, he comes and saves me. And I hope that you'll continue to do that. I think you did that before I was commissioner, right? So you did that as a friend, right? You've done a great job in keeping our county parks as one of the best park system in the state. The opening of Rubel Park, the trails initiatives you've done, you and your team have just been phenomenal. And I look forward to seeing great things from you in the future. I am going to continue to work with you whether you like it or not on the Riley Lock project, all right? So I'll be out there with the chainsaw cutting trees, and there's nothing you're going to do about it. We good? Okay, that's on record, Karen, right? All right. If he calls the cops, I'm going to give him the chainsaw, and they can help me cut trees now. Where's Bob and Jim? two guys who are members of the Public Taxpayers Association that come to meetings, almost every meeting, and we have good conversations afterwards. So I appreciate your civic mindedness and making sure that you keep all of us on track. And don't let these guys off easy, all right? Actually, will you make it difficult for them, please? At least for about 6 months. Howard, nobody ever thinks you at meetings, do they? They're usually mad at you. Howard and I have been friends for a long time, and I want to thank you for your consistent and accurate reporting. I was going to say somewhat accurate, but that would not be very good, was it? So, but there are times where you have written articles, and I know I'm not the best communicator, but you've helped make sure that what I was trying to say in print actually worked out. And you've often called me and said, "Are you sure that's what you said?" So I appreciate everything you've done, and you've done a really good job in letting the public know what goes on here. You've also served as our kind of accidental historian. I've reached out to you a couple times when we've been trying to figure out, something that happened in the past, and you're able to tell us what we did. So I do appreciate that. Mike, I want to thank you for your friendship and your support with the Riley Trail Project. I think that's one of the, looking at quality of place initiatives during my term, that's probably the biggest thing. You and I took a lot of arrows from, I guess, past friends, people that I thought were friends of mine that no longer are because of the Trail Project, and a lot of new friends. I'd say probably 1,000-something new friends, people that are excited about this project. And you getting in there, walking the trail, it's in both of our districts, but it's been a good team project for you and I, and Chris, for your support on that project too. And Chris, I want to thank you for your support in all my initiatives. I can't think of a single time where you have been against anything that I wanted, and I do appreciate that. Good luck to you in the next few years.
Got it?
Tammy, I can't. Tammy? I'm a crier, we all know that.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kearns. We
I didn't get to finish my Tammy thing, Mike.
okay. Can you,
I can do it. I can
Okay,
do it.
do-
Thank
get
you
it.
for keeping me in line. Screw it, I can't hear. Okay, Mike, now you can talk.
well, the gorilla in the room was this minor virus that affected the entire nation, and Commissioner Kearns was masterful in guiding through that, going to the health department on their daily briefings and et cetera. And as we've transitioned to somewhat of a normal situation the last few months, some of that's forgotten. But I think that took a toll on all of us, Commissioner Kearns included. He was in the front lines of that. So thank you for your service, bud.
Thank you.
Yep, Brendan, we haven't always aligned politically, but I respect the hell out of you as a man. I think it was 2016 or 17, I sent you a text. I got your phone number from my aunt and said, "Hey, I'm interested in politics." I think you called me grasshopper or something at the time. But, you're a really good guy, and I wish the best for you. And I know Vigo County is better for your service. So thank you for everything. So just want to kind of wrap this up a little bit with some stuff that we accomplished this year. Mike and Brendan, I appreciate you guys electing me as Commissioner President. That means a lot to me personally. When it comes to our buildings, we were able to bid out our restrooms within this building, and those remodels will be, or that remodeling will be complete in January of next year. We started the tough conversation of building security within this building. We really haven't gotten too far, but it did start a team of people meeting to address the hard issues, the difficult issues that we have in this building with security. We contracted with DLZ to look at the old jail, and they gave us a 66-page report that we have sent to the council members, and they are evaluating. Unfortunately, in March, we lost an elected official in Don Pruitt. That was tough for several people, and may he rest in peace. Also in March, we successfully negotiated a local development agreement with Churchill Downs. That was some sleepless nights, some tough conversations, but we got those things accomplished. In April, the Terre Haute Convention Center opened. Big thing for this community, something that's impacted downtown Terre Haute, and I look forward to that being great for the next several years. Also, Adam Grossman, Brendan, Mike, everybody, Rubel Park opened, dedicated to Keith Rubel, iconic human in this community. In April, we also opted back into the opioid settlement where we were going to receive several, well, I think over $1 million over 18 years. In May, the conversation started where we got appraisals for the Riley Spur Trail. That opened up 3 or 4 months of frustrating times as commissioners, but we ended up getting it completed. Also, Art Spaces, we had their ceremony in May for the Turn to the River project, for the new water feature, and things like that over at the courthouse. In June, we accepted the Riley Spur appraisals. We purchased the lease of the land, and we also purchased a new excavator and backhoe for the Vigo County Highway Department, so thank you, Larry, for that. August, we signed a contract with DLZ to look at the juvenile center, and we're waiting on that report. In October, we signed a resolution of support for possibly a 7th court in Vigo County, hopefully assisting with the drug addiction, mental health things, and stuff like that, and to alleviate the stress of jail overcrowding in our new jail. November, we signed a contract with Josie to make it easier for taxpayers to use credit cards and payment plans for tax payments. The Vigo County Security Center opened this year. We got $1 million in community crossing grants. Thanks to Brendan and Mike and members of the Vigo County Solid Waste District and Karam Nasser, who was a huge help. We had a record number of township cleanups, a record number of tonnage garbage, record number of recyclable tonnage, and Evelyn, we started recycling glass, which has been a huge success in this community. And I would say there isn't a solid waste district in this state that rivals ours. I think it's one of the best. The walkway officially was dedicated in West Terre Haute to Max Miller, Judy Anderson, and John McNichols. We are the lead applicant for a grant for St. Mary's to redo or restore their Conservatory of Music. And one thing that I think we all had a hand in at some point was, it really has nothing to do with us, but the Walmart entrance got repaved. So we got a new pharmacy in West Terre Haute. The mill continued its success, and it continues to grow. We refurbished or repaired 4 bridges, 3 by choice, 1 not by choice. We had to do, and several other things. I'm sure I missed a lot. We received $20 million in Ready Grant money. Those projects have been announced, and most have been funded. So I think 2022 was a great year. I think Mike, Brendan, and I were good ambassadors for the community, from Vigo County all the way to Indianapolis, making sure that people are aware of what Vigo County has and the potential we have in this community. So, I look forward to 2023 and continuing on the success that we've had over the last 2, 4, 6, 8 years, and hope the best for all of this community. So we appreciate your guys' time, and with that, we will close this meeting, and we will wait for Karen. Do you need to do anything? And we'll start the rezoning meeting.
Well, we got it all done.
Hey Sydney, do you want to come up here and sit with us and you can kind of lead this meeting?
Sydney, you go here. Let's.
All right, Sydney, floor is
Okay.
yours.
Okay. The first one we have is docket number 86, UZO 1922, 7121 State Road 46. Property owner is Newman and Company. Proposed use is mini storage units. Proposed zoning is C3 Regional Commercial District. Current zoning is RS Single Family Residential Suburban District. Mini warehouses are a permitted use by right in the C3 district. A similar use is located immediately to the east. The property will be cleared and the buildings demolished. Proper buffering against the adjoining residential use will be needed. A type C buffer yard as set forth in section 17 is required. Hard surfacing of all public use areas is required. The commercial drive cut design and location must have approval from NDOT. State Road 46 as it enters Riley is rapidly becoming a commercial node. This has been likely driven by the residential population locally and the desire to have access to services closer to residential developments. Outside of this node, the nearest commercial hub is on State Road 46 near the I-70 interchange. Commercial nodes are often demand-driven local use areas around important intersections. Node areas serve as employment centers and accommodate a mix of office, retail, and commercial buildings. Nodes often form a network of regional commercial uses centered around larger hubs. The greater network then works to fill the needs of both local and regional populations. Staff offers a favorable recommendation for this rezoning request with the following conditions: approval from the Beaver County engineers for the drainage plan, NDOT approval of the drive cut design and location, approval of landscape and buffer plan, and it had a favorable recommendation from the Area Plan Commission.
Any representation for company? Any questions from the commissioners or anything you'd like to add, sir?
Commissioners, we're working with Myers Engineering with the county as well for drainage. We're trying to take care of the current drainage as well for the present storage units. So we want to try and be good stewards to the neighbors and take care of things. I've been out there forever, so.
Yeah, you were at the zoning meeting,
Yes, sir.
you were working with the neighbor and you come to an agreement to, they were definitely concerned about some drainage problems.
That's why we're working with Myers Engineering and also with the county engineer to resolve the issue.
Okay, all right.
Brendan, any questions?
Yeah, we invested probably $300,000 in the last 12 months on trying to take care of the drainage issues there. What we figured out was a lot of it's coming from our houses that you want robbed going forever. So,
We're talking about a different location. We're not talking about Broadway.
okay, but I'm just sharing that was an issue.
Right.
So the drainage component is incredibly important. Where, I think that's something that we're definitely paying more attention to, just because of what we're seeing downstream for projects like, so it's good to hear that.
Yeah, we're trying to work with Myers Engineering. We're trying to resolve the issues that have been created by many, many factors.
Sure.
Right.
What's that? Yeah, exactly.
All right, any further questions?
Motion, oh, go ahead. Motion to approve.
All in favor, by? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, appreciate it. All right, Sydney.
All right, the next one is docket number 87, UZO 2022, 4325 South US Highway 41 in Terre Haute. Property owner is Fusen LLC. Proposed use is construction of an auto detailing business. Proposed zoning is C3 Regional Commercial District. Current zoning is R1 Single Family Residential District, represented by Mr. Llewellyn. The petitioner has requested to rezone the property immediately to the rear of the existing business to construct an automotive detailing business. This area is in a FEMA identified special flood hazard area. The site plan indicates that the building will be constructed to comply with all FEMA standards, and fill will be brought in to elevate the structure. For fill, a letter from U.S. Fish and Wildlife is required prior to permitting that states that the project is in compliance with sections 9 and 10 of the Endangered Species Act. If applying for a letter of map revision based on fill, the plans must meet all requirements set forth in FEMA Technical Bulletin 10-01 and FEMA MT-1. An as-built elevation certificate must be submitted upon completion of the new structure. All stormwater must be contained on site. A stormwater and drainage plan must be approved by Vigo County Engineering. It is important to protect the surrounding residential uses from the regional commercial zoning, as type C buffer yard will be required. The property owner currently utilizes an opaque fence topped with a deterrent and mature trees as a visual screen. This may provide a suitable visual screen so long as the neighbors do not detest vehemently. Traffic should not be permitted to access either Mayfair Drive west of the current drive cut or West York Drive. Neither are constructed to handle commercial traffic. Alternatively, the developer may upgrade the roads. The business does not currently utilize these portions of either road. Special attention should be paid to noise and light pollution intruding into the surrounding neighborhood. Staff offers a favorable recommendation for this rezoning request with the following conditions: approval from the Vigo County engineers for the drainage plan, approval of the landscape and buffer plan, approval of site plans to ensure FEMA compliance. Staff would request a restriction to be placed on West York Drive or upgrades made to standards outlined by Vigo County Engineering. This also received a favorable recommendation.
Mr. Llewellyn, anything to add?
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the commission, I am Jeff Llewellyn with the Wilkinson Law Firm here in Terre Haute, appearing on behalf of the petitioner Fuson LLC. This is the very back lot out of 6 lots, if you will, that comprise the Fuson Cadillac dealership. This is the farthest to the west, borders on York, which is its west border. We really believe this lot was kind of an oversight from when the original was done. For some reason, all of the other lots were rezoned to a C3 to allow for this business. This one was not, for some reason. The intent, as Sydney had pointed out, is to build a new commercial auto detailing and promotional facility on this property. It's currently used by the dealership to park vehicles, overflow storage, etc. And there is screening along York and behind the home on Mayfair. We have no intention of using any different traffic flow or entrance from York or Mayfair. Will come in off of 41 South as we have, and then there is an entrance through the used auto dealership on Mayfair as well that we'll continue to use, but traffic flow otherwise will not change. So we are seeking your passage of the ordinance to rezone this lot from the R1 to the C3 to bring it in compliance or with compatibility with all of the other lots used for the dealership. We don't anticipate that noise would be an issue. It's an enclosed operation within the building that is being constructed for the detailing service. We've submitted a detailed drainage site plan to the city, and we're in agreement with complying with all of the recommendations of area plan. Thank you.
Any questions from the commissioners?
No.
None?
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor, by aye. Aye. Any opposed? Cool. Mark, thank you for your continued investment from your family into Vigo County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sydney, last one.
Okay, last one is docket 89, UZO number 2122. Property owner is Spring Hill Properties. The property is located on the corner of West Spring Hill and South State Road 63, represented by Mr. Shagley. Proposed use is a service station. Proposed zoning is C2, Community Commercial District. Current zoning is A1 Agricultural District. Approval of a major subdivision will be needed. This was approved at the last Area Plan Commission meeting. The site plan calls for curb cuts along Spring Hill Road and State Road 63. Approval of the design and location of each cut must be approved. The county will need to approve the cut along Spring Hill, and NDOT will need to approve the cut along State Road 63. The area is in a FEMA identified special flood hazard area. All development, including structures and tanks, will need to comply with the flood hazard ordinance for Vigo County, and plans must be stamped by a design professional stating that all criteria have been met. The intersection of State Road 63 and Spring Hill has been of commercial interest for some time now. Developments at this location have mostly been proposed but have not materialized due to expenses associated with construction in a flood zone. Other uses in the area are heavy draw for traffic. Those uses are commercial and recreational in nature. The county has identified this area as an important thoroughfare and has been improving the roads to meet future demands. Over time, it is believed that most uses along Spring Hill Drive will become commercial in nature. A A favorable recommendation on the C2 with the following conditions: approval of major subdivision, which has been done, all construction plans to meet or exceed FEMA standards. For new construction, approval of the landscape and buffer plan where residential adjoins, NDOT or county engineering, approval of road cut design and location. This also received a favorable from area plan.
Mr. Shagley, been waiting all morning for you.
Good morning, Mr. President, fellow members, fellow commissioners. My name is Richard Shagley. I'm with the law firm of Wright, Shagley & Lowry. And this morning I'm here on behalf of Spring Hill Properties LLC. And as you heard, the petitioner is here today asking for this property to be rezoned from agricultural to a C2 to allow for a construction of a convenience station. This petitioner they did the Bucks on 13th and Spring Hill, 13th Spring Hill. They have the one on Marathon, and then they have property on North Lafayette for the future construction. But today they're here asking for this property rezoned so they can build one on the corner of 63 and Spring Hill. As you heard, one of the requirements of the subdivision, this is a great piece of dirt with a lot of possibilities. They're subdivided into several lots. They're just here today on the corner lot where they intend to build the convenience station. If possible, could I use the screens? I've got about a 45-minute presentation on.
No.
Okay. So I'll skip that part, and I'll just say if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
There was concern with Mr. Hubbard. You made accommodations for access to his property.
Yeah, I've notified the petitioner. What Commissioner Morris is making reference to is Ward Hubbard owns some farm ground on the other side of the ditch, and he is landlocked. And he has been using this property without any formal arrangement to get to Spring Hill. He reached out to me and indicated he has some concerns and would like some assistance. I've passed that on to my client, and I have not heard back from him, but I don't know if he's also contacted directly with Ward. Some accommodation will be made. It's just a matter of coming to an agreement on that. And I have not heard back from my client on that. Yeah.
Sydney, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, and the petitioner is well aware of the flood concerns. They're working with Align with Matt Voris, and they have Dan Sanders doing the architecture. So I feel like he's got a good team in place. I know they have a good team in place to handle these potential issues.
Sydney, do we get further clarification on if it's NDOT we have to reach out to on 63 or if that's the city of Terre Haute's road?
I'm not sure
Okay.
if Jared.
I mean, either way, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I was just curious who the owner of the road was.
I think that state turned it over and the city took some money on that 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago.
Okay. All right, any further questions?
Counselor, I was encouraged by the text messages at the very last meeting.
There's no miniature horses involved in this, no.
With that said, that would not be the right thing to
Okay.
Second.
All in favor, by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Cool.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Shagley. See you next year.
I
Maybe.
appreciate your time and your willingness to allow me to speak on these matters. And Commissioner Kearns, I appreciate what you've done for the county over the last 4 years. Thank you very much.
All right.
Have a good holidays, everybody.
Thank you. Sydney, anything else?
Nope, that's all.
Okay. Thank you very much.